What's good, GVO crewits? Your girl back with another video, and if you're new here...
Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
And welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Me Nice Podcast, where we have Talk to Me Tuesdays. And on Talk to Me Tuesdays, we pick a topic, we just talk it up, just me and you, real conversational, nobody else. And today we are talking about the invisible timer in our 20s. Before we get into this topic, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you keep up with all the Talk to Me Nice episodes, which are, of course, in their own playlist right here on my channel. So with no further ado, let's just get right into this topic. Before we start off with today's episode, I do want to say I apologize. I really apologize in advance. I'm not in the normal place I would be. One, for the fact because where my piano is, we have some storage stuff over there. It's not a lot to move, but I'm really not in the mood to move it at all. And I'm running on 4 hours of sleep, but I really didn't want to put off putting this episode out. Hence why I am going to do my best. Actually, no, this is going to be the one take I do. I mentioned to you guys before about how I go to 2-3 takes of the podcast where I finally really like one. But yeah, I really want to put this episode off again. I kind of just want to upload it for you guys since we missed last week. So yeah, with no further ado, let's just talk right about it. I asked you guys on my Instagram. You already know that's how you get your responses featured in the episodes. And I asked you guys, what are some things that you feel like you have to do in your 20s, or, some things that you feel like, society says you have to do. And one of the biggest things, obviously, was a lot of you guys said save money or get money, all the things of that nature, of course. One person said felt like they needed to travel. And yeah, I wouldn't say there's probably pressure to travel, but I think it's just something that we all desire, something we feel like probably person that we have to do so we can really get to experience other cultures, different places, go out of our comfort zones. I really do feel like for a lot of people our age, we almost feel like we have this duty to ourselves to really experience, different things in the travel. And someone got really personal. They said they felt like, they wanted to get into the sports industry as either a cameraman, reporter, analyst, or athlete. And that obviously probably comes from more of a circumstantial thing where people know that's what you're good at, that's what you love to do. So yeah, when people know that you're good at something, you have potential to be something, they expect a lot from you. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think, we do feel those types of pressures. And I remember... I don't know, I always feel, even now still, that there's this invisible timer. In my 20s, I have to do this and this and this and this, and if I don't get it done, then I'm falling behind. And that also goes into falling with we compare ourselves to other people, because why even do we feel like there's this imaginary time in our 20s? It's because we see how successful a lot of people our age have become, and we're like, dang, I'm falling behind because they're already 21, they already doing this. Oh, they already 22 and they already got their crib, or whatever, they're about to get engaged, they're about to start already having kids. I think we see ourselves in comparison to where other people at different points of their lives, not knowing the journey to get to where they are, and we automatically feel like I'm falling behind on everything. And that's why I want to talk about this, because I feel this timer all the time. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get into some of the timers, specific types of timers that we feel that we have in our 20s. And the first timer I want to talk about is a college timer. And we say, or we feel as though we have to finish college or whatever we're doing in exactly 4 years. And the truth is, sometimes it doesn't happen in 4 years. You don't exactly go to school for 4 years straight and get your degree. Life happens, things happen, you don't really know, you don't know what tomorrow brings. And so even though we want to finish things in exactly 4 years, and that's what we know it's supposed to happen, sometimes it doesn't always. I remember I've heard people tell me, it took me 4 years. It took me 6 years to get my degree because I had to work, I had to get a job, I had to support my, things happen. So I really do feel we do definitely feel like with college, we have to finish it in 4 years. And sometimes maybe I feel like, maybe there's some people that feel like if they don't, then they fell behind, or they're not on the same page as everyone else. And it's important to realize, once again, we are all not meant to be on the same journey, on the same path. We have to go through certain things in order to really become that person that God has us to be. Next timer that I feel like we have is a career timer. And with a career timer, I mean finding a job right after school, so right after those 4 years, finding a job in your profession, what you majored in, or finding a passion if you choose not to go to school, you take a gap year like I've talked about before. There seems to be a timer on that at times. And really, even the same thing, even in high school, how you're expected to know what you want to do for the rest of your life when, just a few months ago, you had to raise your hand to go to the bathroom. It's it's crazy to think we're expected to make such big decisions after having to really follow so many, not saying that you don't need to have rules, but, we're expected to make life decisions at 18 when we really, probably haven't given it much thought. And I feel like, especially with finding a passion or finding what you love, once again, going back to how we see in this generation, a lot of people our age in their 20s, even younger, have found ways to become successful, and we go with the comparisons, we see what they're doing, and we're like, man, I don't even know what I even want to do right now, and they're out here with a full-blown career making hundreds, thousands of dollars, and I'm still stuck in, like, I don't know what to do. So I definitely do feel like there's a timer on finding what you love to do. And one thing about it is, like, I think, obviously, if you take the time and really figure out, pray about it, what it is, things that you love, things that you're passionate about, it will come to you. God will reveal it to you for sure. And, finding a job right after school, I feel like can definitely be a big timer for all you guys that are in school and are about to graduate from college. I think we already know sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. I know I've heard plenty of people say, like, I have a major in so-and-so and I do not even use it. I have a bachelor's degree in this and I don't even use it, and that happens a lot of times. I mean, if you work or you choose to major in a field where the profession is always, it's hard to get a job in it, that's kind of expected. However, some people are fortunate to able to get jobs in what they majored in or the professions that they chose. But it's safe to say we realize that doesn't always happen. And I think sometimes we feel that career timer like kind of going off and ticking down, where it's like, okay, I went to college for 4 years and I still don't have a job. So what do I do? And that's normal. I feel like these timers really come from, once again, comparisons, societal pressures that we feel as young people. And, it's totally normal to feel that way. And next, of course, I feel like, once again, it's pretty funny because with the timers, which pretty much topics I pretty much have touched on so far in the first 3 episodes, a marriage timer, finding a spouse. And I, feel that a lot, even really just finding someone really to date, I guess. I think no matter what, when you're a person like me, like you've been single for a while, I think you definitely start to feel that pressure now getting your 20s. I think after a while, your family members are asking like, oh, you still single? Like, what's good with you, him? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you start to feel that pressure from your family to go out, to date, to find someone eventually that you can marry, it's a lot of pressure finding a spouse or finding someone you really want to spend the rest of your life with, or even just finding someone that is suitable to date. And y'all, I apologize. It is super hot in here. I don't know why. I'm going to turn that fan back on. I also do want to apologize. I'm right next to my kitchen, so I know you guys can probably hear the refrigerator. I'm doing this thing a little bit. I apologize for that. But, anyways, just finding a spouse there's a lot of pressure. I'm sure you guys will feel it, especially maybe if you come from a big family or you have a family that puts a lot of emphasis on marriage and having kids and, all that type of stuff. If you have a family that really, that's their prime core values, I feel like you probably feel that pressure times 10 to, find, a suitable partner that you want to spend, the rest of your life with. And then the thing about it, with the marriage timer, even though, so now you found a spouse, you found someone you think is worthy, you want to spend the rest of your life with them, now it comes down to finding the right time to marry them. Because, like I say, for me, I feel like after 2 years, I would know whether I want to spend the rest of my life with someone, for sure. That's really all it takes for me to know. Some people would say, like, that's too long, I need to spend 3 or 4 years with them. Fine, that's cool. But I feel like for me, after 2 years, if I know I'm going to know, for real. But, obviously, I realize everyone's timing is different. It's not always up for people to get married after 2 years, to get married after 3 years, or, after 6 months. What may work for a couple that's been together 6 months may not work for a couple that's been together 3 years, So it really depends. Now you got to find a time to, when you guys are both where you need to be, whether it be financially, mentally, health-wise, career-wise. Once you guys are in a place that you need to be, then you got to think, okay, what is the right time for us to take that step and get married? So it's a lot. And, that comes with it. I think, the marriage and kids timer is definitely, a big one. Speaking of, that's what I was getting to next, is the children timer and having kids. So now you've overcome your college time, your career time, your marriage time. You found it, you found her, found him, you married them. Now everyone's on your back, like. So when you're having kids, Tammy, and then you just like, dang, bro, like, a nigga can't get no rest like you. So it's like, there's always gonna be outside pressure. And I know for me, I always felt like the all oddball out. Because I remember when I was younger, I would often say, I don't want kids. And girls would look at me so weird. Like, growing up, I was never the type to play with baby dolls. I was never the type to do any of that, like play it was not me. I've never felt like personally I've had a motherly instinct. I am at the point stage in my life where I think kids are cute in theory, and I don't really want my own. Don't really want the responsibility of my own. Now, when I say, like, I don't really want kids, I'm saying, like, obviously, if I get married and my husband wants kids, I'm like, oh, no. Like, no, obviously, that's selfish, and I probably don't need to be married anyway if I had that attitude. But I'm just saying, obviously, right now, this time point in life, like, kids, y'all cool, I mess with you. But I'm also cool off you right now, so. But the pressure to have kids and, like, well, really, I guess, for women, too, because there's a lot of people that think, you know, all the woman was put on this earth to do is just to have kids. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with women that really value that, and that's what they want. That's what they've, you know, waited their whole life for. There is nothing wrong with that at all. But just because that's what a lot of women do want, it's not fair to look down on the women that don't necessarily want that. Even after they're married, they just want to, you know, just kind of get used to being married before they just start popping out kids and have to know how to raise them, you know, because raising kids is a big deal. Like, you're raising the next generation of humans, so we gotta make sure that we're ready to make that step and bring up, you know, another generation into this world and hopefully make it good. So the last timer that we are going to talk about, the very last one, is the success timer. Having success in your career. So whatever your field is, you know, whatever you chose to do what you're passionate about, whether it be music, artistry, design, fashion, whatever. Now you've got it, you're in your field doing what you want to do, and now, once again, we start looking again, start comparing ourselves to other people that are doing the same thing as us, and we're like, why am I not having that amount of success that they have? You know, I personally feel this a lot, especially when it comes to music. Being an independent female musician is difficult at times, and I see, you know, a lot of male musicians have so much success, or I see, like, female artists, you know, being independent, and they just have, you know, a song that does really well, and it's like, oh my goodness, like, I know it's possible to do, but it's like, dang, like, why can I do it? Like, am I falling behind? Like, am I, you know, what I want to be in my career? You know, I do the same thing, you know, since I do YouTube, I look at other YouTubers, how I've watched, you know, especially if it's a YouTuber, I watched their page grow over the last few months or the last few years, and I'm like, wow, like, the channel's doing so well, or, you know, right now I'm at a plateau in growth on my channel, like, you know, it just, comparisons are so dangerous, and I try to not focus on it, but, you know, there are times when you really do compare yourself a lot, and I'm talking personal experience, it can really, honestly, send you into a very, like, bad state of mind. Now, I don't want to say depression, but it can really discourage you a lot of times. If you focus so much on other people's success, then you're going to get too discouraged to go and get your own, and that can't happen. In order to get success, to get to that point, you have to keep working and keep pushing every single day, which I know y'all know sounds cliche, sounds corny, but it's really true. That's what you got to do. So comparisons, I feel like, you know, for me, it's something I do a lot, especially since I'm in, you know, with music and then doing YouTube. You know, it's something, you know, those are two professions that, you know, are really popular. Everyone loves to do it. Everyone wants to be a rapper. Everyone wants to be a singer. Everyone wants to be a YouTuber. It's very hard. So, and obviously I've been in spaces, and I think what it was when let me get my English right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my words together. I'm literally just struggling right now. But when, for example, when I didn't upload Monday and Tuesday last week, it was because once I realized, I was like, okay, I missed 2 upload days. I didn't follow my schedule. Then I went to like, oh, well, dang, like so-and-so did this and they were able to do this. Like, I started looking at how consistent other YouTubers were. And I was kind of knocking like how much that I have been consistent in the past year, this whole year. I think this is the most consistent I've been with my channel in a long time. And especially since I've added a new upload day and being able to do that and continue to be consistent, you know, I can't just not, you know, I can't just, you know, discredit myself. You know, I'm really proud of myself. You guys know, if you watch my last video where I was playing Dead or Alive, I talked about that and how I get discouraged sometimes. Like, I literally do feel like crap. Like, if I'm not creating, whether it be making music or editing a video, filming a video, I really do feel like crap. I feel awful because, you know, my mind is constantly running with ideas, but sometimes I just get so discouraged and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, but you can't do that. But we're humans and it happens. And also with success timer, success in your personal life, when it comes to, now this is in the situation, I guess I'll say, if you have found success before you found other areas of your life, like before dating, for marriage, you more so found success in your career first, then you start to see, okay, I have the profession that I want, I'm doing what I love every single day, but my personal life is lacking, whether that be with interpersonal relationships or, a romantic relationship with people. You realize like that area of my life is suffering. And a lot of times what happens, I've heard people say, since they really wanted to have success and make sure that they got it done and be where they wanted to be at this certain point in time, you sacrifice sometimes. I've heard people say they had to sacrifice hanging out with their friends when they could, be at home either studying or working on designs, working on their art, working on their craft. Like sacrificing that personal time with your friends and people like that to do what you love is not always the easiest thing to do, but they say they've done it, and obviously it worked out because they've been successful. But now they realize, wow, it's like, dang, okay, my personal life is slacking now. I've got all the success, and I feel like there's gotta be like a balance. If you are a person you'd rather just focus strictly on your career, I really don't blame you, because I really do believe that when it comes to friendships and interpersonal relationships, that can always come, and it's always going to come when it's right too. Because I always think, really honestly, dating has really not been a primary focus of mine, because I focus I work, I make music, and I do YouTube. So I mean, it's not really at the forefront of my list of things that I'm like super worried about, like to stress about, because then once again, that is with me, that'll just set me back and get me discouraged, and I'll it kind of just takes a toll on me, and I just can't even get in that mindset. I can't even allow myself to get in that headspace. So, I always think, if I'm focusing on what my career is supposed to be, there can always be time for other things to come later. But however, I don't want to completely be that person that kind of just goes and goes and goes for years on end. Right now I'm only 21, but say I'm 25 and I'm still just like strictly career driven and all that. And I don't want to really look back, and I don't want to regret, not that I would regret putting that time into myself, but it's like, I don't want to look back and be like, I really let that area of my life suffer a lot, and I'm seeing it. And that's what I'm saying right now. It's good to find balance, whatever you are. If you are very motivated, very driven to do what you love and make sure you're successful at it, like I am, I just think, for people like us, we really got to find that balance. And we will, I feel like, because we're motivated, because we're driven, we will have that success, that we do desire, because God's going to open the doors for us. And, I feel like I have to realize now, I say, like, if someone were to come into my life and I really be like, yo, like, I really mess with them, I really think I could date them, I'm going to have to make a decision on, like, can I do this and really focus on what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? So I honestly just feel like if it happens, it happens. I honestly feel like with me anyway, it's probably going to be when I least expect it anyway. Isn't that when it's greatest? When they say love's greatest? Anyways, ignore me. So next, success, I would say, is in your spiritual life. Whether, you be Christian, like me, you be Muslim, Islam, Catholic, whatever your religion may be, success in your spiritual life, you're, like me with my walk with God, like making sure I have a personal relationship that continues to grow and I'm growing in Him, that He's changing things in my life, and that I'm constantly evolving, allowing Him to take more control of my life. Like for me personally with, my faith, I want to have, as much as I want success in all these other areas of my life, I really do want to have that success in my spiritual life as well. And if you're a person, I add this one in here for people like us that, really do have a faith, or, you have a religion. And I really want to add that in there for us, because I know, some people don't believe in anything, and they can do that, that's you, baby, for sure. But for people that also have faith, that really want to have that personal relationship with whatever high power we believe in, it's important that we have success in that area of our life too, and that's first priority over anything. Like even now I have to catch myself making sure I prioritize my relationship with God over everything else, or any friendship, passion, music, YouTube. It has to come first, and I'm still working on that to this day. I'm not perfect. I'm not telling y'all I'm perfect, but yeah, that's pretty much all I had for you guys today for the invisible timer in our 20s. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Talk to Me Nice. Please be sure to subscribe so you can keep up once again with all the episodes that are once again in their own place here on my channel. Also be sure to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video as well, and also whatever you do not forget to click that bell so that you get notified every single time that I post, and be sure to follow me on Instagram so you can get your response featured in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time with another video.